Dandavat Maharaj.
Jai.
Dandavat.
Dandavat Pranam. So as you can see, we've just been finishing up here in the London temple with the evening program, and as on the Wednesday Italian Zoom, then we all chanted in unison for the Tulsi Parikrama to be with you on time. So happy to see you all in Italy and all over the world, with Hari Gopal Prabhu translating into Russian and trying to see Chaitanya Moy Devidasi translating into English. Oh, into English, from English to Portuguese. All right, so dear ones, we're actually going to, you have to turn off your sound for sure. We're going to switch to the main monitor here, and devotees will come and sit down, and then we'll be with you more comfortably. In the meantime, please do begin with Vandeham, and you've got Kumkum Devi Dasi there already. She was ready to lead the whole program because it wasn't sure that I'd be back on time, but I came back just before I was able to come back just before the Arati. So Kumkum Devi, please, and all of you, but Kumkum, please take over. You can turn on your microphone, and from Italy, you can begin the Vandeham, etc. Kindly.
Yes, Maharaj. So, mini Vandanam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Sadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishikanvitam Shah Om Jnana Timarandasya Yananjana Shalakaya Chaturun Militam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We can continue a little bit. Vanchakalpa Trubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Alrighty. We have another very beautiful topic tonight chosen by Sevarupa Didi. And this is the nectar of the Lord's pastimes. So first hearing that, we're, oh my goodness, if only we could find something about that in our Guru's teachings. And Sevarupa Didi also provided a link to a particular article in Gaudiya Darshan magazine. And this is also the name of an article, which is part 6 of 6, some prayers by Thakur Bhaktivinoda on let's see, something about grief, being freed from grieving. And let's see, this is called, I've got it written down here, Shaka. Shoka Shatana, the remedy for grief. And Thakur Bhaktivinoda has written these prayers, and at the conclusion of all of them, he's what he has been discussing is the pastime of Srivas Thakur's son passing away during the kirtan with Mahaprabhu, And so, of course, this was a very remarkable pastime. And Srivas Thakur's response was just as remarkable, that he would give all of his attention still to the kirtan, even though this was a tragedy in most people's eyes. And so just the last two songs, there are two verses that are very, very sweet. Thakur Bhaktivinoda is saying, in general, an instruction for us: drink the nectar of Gaura's pastimes in the town of Nadia, give up your grief and fear, and steady your heart. The material world is impermanent, brother. Krishna is the be-all and end-all, so constantly serve Krishna according to Gaura's teachings. And we can perhaps put the link to this entire article in the chat, if somebody would like to do that. And that's at the beginning of this text that I sent. And then also, this reminded me of how much, for me, first step is that we need to learn about the sweetness of the Lord's pastimes. And we find that Srila Guru Maharaj in Golden Volcano of Divine Love, chapter A Drop of Divine Love, he quotes Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami saying, "What is Krishna Leela? It is the real essence of nectar. It is the gist of sweetness, happiness, and ecstasy. The sweetness of the sweetest thing that can ever be conceived is represented in Krishna Leela. Then what is Chaitanya Leela? In Chaitanya Leela, that sweet nectar of Krishna Leela is flowing in all 10 directions, in hundreds of streams, as if from a fountain. That fountain is Chaitanya Leela. Although Chaitanya Leela appears later than Krishna Leela, Chaitanya Leela is the source, the foundation. We see that Krishna appeared in Dwapara Yuga in the previous age, and then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared later in Kali Yuga. Still, their Leela is eternal. First there is the giver, then the gift. And the gift of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that in all the 10 directions, he is distributing unlimited streams of sweet Krishna Leela to the world. So this is going and going like this. It appears that first there's Krishna Leela, but actually the source of that is Chaitanya Leela. So that is apparently coming later, but that's not the case. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami concludes, "O devotees, come. Like so many swans, you must swim in the lake of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. From that lake, Krishna Leela is flowing to the world in different streams. Devotees, like clouds, take nectar from that lake and distribute that nectar freely to the fortunate souls. Come and live in that lake. Ask the swan of your mind to take shelter in that lake. May that swan swim in the nectarian lake of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life and precepts, from where so many hundreds of streams of nectar are flowing in all directions. O devotees, I offer this humble prayer to you." That is from Krishnadas Kaviraj through Srila Guru Maharaj.
Yes, Kumkumdi. You're silent. Has the internet stopped?
I think internet is fine. We're looking forward to other comments, of course.
Well, we have Chinmoy Devu there with you, and he's always hearing Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj in preparing the captions for the video, the 2 different video series. And I'm sure that Chinmoy Devu probably can draw something which he's heard recently. Today in the morning, by the way, here, And here in the morning, we started with the first however many minutes, 10 minutes or more, of Srila Guru Maharaj, the latest from 3 or 4 days ago, I suppose now, that you, Chinmay Deva, will put on the Srila Govinda Maharaj video series. And we're looking forward to more, but maybe there's something you could share from Guru Maharaj or Gurudev that you've heard recently in this context.
Dandavat pranams to everyone.
Yes, clear. We can hear you clearly. Dandavat.
So something I can mention that I heard from, not in that particular video, but in another time I've heard from Srila Maharaj, is that what's the purpose of Leela? Of course, the absolute Lord, the Lord, he wants to express himself. He wants to have these interactions with his devotees. But Leela, a way to look at Leela is something that draws out, that is able to draw out love from his devotees. So what can do that? Sweetness. And a sweet pastime can do that. So, for example, when the Kaliya serpent came to Vrindavan and poisoned the water of the Jamuna, and there was the residents, maybe the Gopas, on the banks of the Jamuna, and they were dead, acting as dead. And everybody was very terrified and very worried. And then Krishna alone is going there and going to do battle with this giant serpent, 7, 10 heads. I don't know, but many heads. And here the residents of Vrindavan are thinking, oh no, our dear boy, he's going there alone to fight this huge, giant serpent, deadly, poisonous serpent. So there, right there, there's that Leela drawing out that love from the devotees of the Lord. And then what happens? The Lord starts kind of dancing around and making the heads get entangled and kind of playing with the Kaliya serpent. And the residents of Vrindavan are like, oh, look at our Krishna. Look at our boy. He's just playing with his serpent, no problem. Very nice, very beautiful. Then Kaliya turns the tables and Krishna starts to struggle. And the Kaliya serpent has the upper hand on Krishna. And then what happens? The residents of Vrindavan, they're heartbroken. They're desperate, seeing their beautiful boy in trouble, maybe going to die at the hood of this Kaliya serpent. And so they're feeling the love is just being pulled out from them. Like extreme love for Krishna is being pulled out because of this Leela. And they're expressing to such a great degree their love for Krishna, all because of his Leela. And Krishna knows he's not in any trouble. He doesn't have a problem. He's not worried, of course. He knows what's going to happen. But the residents in Vrindavan, due to the influence of Yoga Maya, they're thinking, this sweet, beautiful, wonderful boy is going to die by Kaliya. And so this is drawing out this type of praying from his devotees. And then what happens? Krishna gets loose, dances on the head, mercifully gives the feet dust, his feet dust to the Kaliya serpent, and everybody is happy. Kaliya serpent is even happy. The wives of the Kaliya serpent are happy. Everybody's happy in the end. So this is type of sweet play of the Lord that we can see in the scriptures. And this type of sweetness is one of the super excellent qualities of Krishna. So Narayan, he has 60 qualities, and Krishna has 4 extra ones. And one of the 4 extra ones is his supremely beautiful pastimes, supremely sweet pastimes. So nowhere else are we going to find such sweet pastimes except with Krishna, because the influence of Yoga Maya is making it seem that it's like this mundane atmosphere, like it's mundane things that we see on a daily basis, but it's completely transcendental. And so this type of relationship between the Lord and his devotees and his Leela, this can draw out the maximum amount of prem from his devotees. And since we are speaking about Krishna's pastimes, his Leela, my favorite Leela is found in the Mahabharata, or one of my favorites. And it also shows the humorous side of Krishna, because Krishna is very funny, actually. He's a bit of a thief, a dacoit, and, a womanizer. So, yes, of course, he likes to joke and have fun. And this occurred in the Mahabharata when the Pandavas were exiled into the forest. And at this time, Durvas Muni came to visit Duryodhan in Hastinapur. And Durvas Muni, if you don't know, he's very temperamental Muni, Rishi. You have to do everything perfectly or he will curse you. He's very dangerous Rishi. So, but Duryodhan knew this. And so he did everything perfectly. When Durvas Muni came, he did everything perfectly. Everything was done according to scriptures, to the Vedas, and to please Durvas Muni. And Durvas Muni was very pleased by this. And so at the end, Durvas Muni, he's very powerful, sadhu, and he said to Duryodhan, ask for a boon. So there's something we should know beforehand, though, is that when the Pandavas went to the forest, I believe it was Krishna, gave Draupadi this plate. And he said that if you put food on this plate and offer it to Vishnu, remember, the food will remain on that plate no matter how much you give. So you can feed thousands and thousands of people with this one plate of food, and it will never end until you, Draupadi, you take your prasadam. And Draupadi was always the last to take prasadam. So they had this magic plate, and Duryodhan knew that, but Duryodhan also knew when that plate would be finished when Draupadi took. So he when he was asked for a boon, he said, please go see the Pandavas. And he timed it so that when Durvas Muni arrived there to see the Pandavas, it was already late. And Draupadi had taken her meal, and there was no food left. And Durvas Muni came. He came not alone, but with 100 Brahmins. And he came to Yudhisthira. Yudhisthira paid his obeisances and asked, how may we serve you? And Durvas Muni said, we would like some prasadam. So me and my 100 followers, you please prepare something. We are going to the river. We are going to bathe, perform our rituals, and then we will come back. And Yudhisthira's, yes, of course, I will do that. And so Durvas Muni and his men, they go to the river to perform their rituals, to bathe. And Yudhisthira and the Pandavas, they are in panic. They know the power of this Muni, how we could curse them if they were not able to give prasadam, offer something to this Muni, to Durvas Muni. And so they're thinking, what are we going to do? We are in so much trouble. And so who do they think of? Of course, they think of Krishna. So they think Krishna is the only protector. He's our guardian. Krishna must help us. So Krishna in Dwarka hears this plea from the Pandavas. Please come help us, Krishna. We are in danger. And so Krishna mystically appears in the forest to see the Pandavas, and he says, oh, what's wrong? And Yudhisthira recounts the story that Durvas Muni is here. We have no food. The magic plate is finished for the night. What are we going to do? They're going to come back here and there'll be no food and he will curse us and our lives will be ruined. Very like Vedic type, Bollywood style type story. Very nice. And Krishna says, oh, let me see the plate. So Krishna takes the plate. He sees a tiny morsel of food, little bit of food. He takes that tiny morsel, he takes it in his mouth, he eats it, and he says, I am satisfied. And then he leaves. And the Pandavas are like, oh, what happened? Where did he go? That doesn't solve our situation. But who is Krishna? He is Paramatma. He is living in everybody's soul. So what's happening down in the river? Durvas Muni and his followers, they're very hungry. They're performing their rituals and all this bathing. And then suddenly they are completely satisfied. 100% satisfied. They cannot take one more bite of food. They are fully satisfied, like this. And then Durvas Muni is thinking, uh-oh, I can't eat anymore. And I just told Yudhishthira to cook for 100 people. Yudhishthira will be very angry and he will curse me. And so what does Durvas Muni do with his 100 followers? They leave. They just take off. They disappear into the forest. And so, Yudhishthira and the Pandavas, they are still worried. They're thinking, when is Durvas Muni coming back? And so finally they go down to the river because Durvas Muni is not returned. And they see that there's there are pots and some clothes and stuff, but everybody is gone. And so there you could see how sweet these pastimes are of Krishna. Without a word of telling what he's done, he leaves the Pandavas and says, oh, I am satisfied. So, this we can go on with forever because the pastimes of Krishna are unlimited. And so we're just very happy that we have, the scriptures and our gurus who can give us these wonderful, sweet pastimes. Jai Gurudev.
Jai.
Jai, Jai Shri Gurudev. And we can hear Madhurananda Prabhu being very happy hearing about Krishna's Leela, that we haven't seen his form as yet. And we know others are there, but I can see Shyama Sundar Prabhu. Prabhu, very good to see you there. I hope you'll be there over Christmas and not run away anywhere before Christmas.
Yes, I will be here by your mercy, Maharaj. Thank you. Jai.
So, Prabhu, what do you think about Krishna's sweet pastimes? Leela.
Maharaj, it's so high that I'm speechless. But what can I say is that it's by your mercy, by our Gurudev mercy, that we can, I can read, approach, listen, and try to just, enjoy, even if I don't understand anything, Maharaj. But Krishna pastimes with the associates, with the friends, in any age of Krishna's, pastime life, it's very, is making our lives full of meaning. And we really understand our position in this universe as a servant of a servant of a servant of this realm, where Krishna is the Godhead, the Supreme Godhead, and we are trying to serve their servants of the servants of the servants. And he's always happy. So Krishna Leelas is just giving to everybody nectar, and only listening is just making the heart full of joy. And any kind of situation that we're facing in life is always helped, supported by Krishna Lila. So we can face any kind of enemy, right? Spiritual enemy in our life, that remembering Krishna, praying Krishna, praying the Krishna Lilas, we can defeat anybody, because Krishna is always helping the devotees, and we're trying to be the servant of the devotees. So I think that also I talk too much, Maharaj. So Jai Gurudev, and Madhurananda is here, so I will pass the mic to Madhur. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Super to hear from you, Prabhu. Looking forward to seeing you very soon. And here's Madhuranand for evidence.
Dandavat Maharaj, Dandavat devotees, Dandavat. I can say a little bit something. Recently, as I come here, one guest, Maharaj, you remember Roberto, recently come here and ask one question, the difference between Vishnu and Krishna. And what I say, the one very, come si dice, but one different, very, come si dice veramente? Yes.
Quality.
No, as the quality, as the pastimes is very evidence from the evidence from difference between Krishna and Vishnu. And recently we read from Religion from the Art, the sweet pastime of Krishna and the quality of Krishna. And sweet pastime of Krishna is very incredible, because if you follow Vishnu, Vishnu style is kind of cold, is not warm, not like Krishna. Krishna is very familiar environment, familiar come si dice, relationship. And my personal realization was when I approached the Christian consciousness, the first time I read the Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita from Swami Prabhupada or Srila Maharaj, another kind of Bhagavad Gita. And I don't understand nothing. It's completely very difficult to understand. I want to try to approach the devotee of Krishna. And I find the devotees, talk with the devotees, and give me some book. And I would need to choose the book. I choose the Book of Krishna. And because I say, okay, Book of Krishna, I think speak about Krishna. I want to know who is Krishna. And read this book, and also full of pastime of Krishna, obviously. It's a very amazing change completely in my mind. And I say, okay, and now I understand who is Krishna. And now I understand what happened, why Arjuna want to speak about with Krishna, why Arjuna is a friend of Krishna. I understand the Bhagavad Gita. After I read Bhagavad Gita of Swami Prabhupada, I understand very better the situation. But my first book of Krishna consciousness was the Book of Krishna, as it was the pastime of Krishna. It's very attractive. Very attractive, yes? Yeah, very attractive. I understand his point. This is my only, is very small. I don't know if you understand very well, but okay. My apologize about this. Sorry.
Madhuranand, we understand very well. And I just want to let everybody know, who most maybe do know, but Madhuranand, he's got the certificate for the best English accent. And it is joyful to hear Hari Katha from him. So always very joyful. Prabhu, thank you for making everybody here happy. And Krishna consciousness is a happy thing. We are assured of that by all of our masters. And if we're finding any unhappiness, then it's just that we're on our way to being cured. And then as soon as we can taste the name and taste the joy of the pastimes of Krishna and feel joy, then we can think that the medicine is having some effect on us. But we have in Rupa Goswami's Upadeshamritam that in the beginning, such things in holy name and all these talks, they may not be attractive to us, but especially the holy name is the medicine. And so we need to take that medicine. And in the very first verse of the Shikshastakam, in Golden Volcano of Divine Love, by the way, yes, Golden Volcano of Divine Love, yes. Just divine lava, yes, but divine love. There, Srila Guru Maharaj, in his expanding expression about the first verse, Cheto Dapanam Marjanam Bhava verse, there he starts to flow into this, where the holy name will take us. And it will take us into an intimate relation with Krishna's fine, fine dealings with all these beautiful things. And the description there of the sweetness of Krishna's pastimes also Guru Maharaj is expressing. So we always were happy to hear, and especially to hear from the heart about the pastimes of Krishna, the pastimes of Mahaprabhu. And one thing I was going to say too is Mahaprabhu's pastimes are parallel with Krishna's pastimes, with magnanimity added. And the joy that we see in the Leelas of Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Leelas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, given in Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, and of course relayed and sweetened by Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada also, of course. Then we are getting that like joy, sweetness, everything of Mahaprabhu's Leela, parallel with Krishna's Leela. So many wonderful things are there. And we've got more wonderful devotees with us, so many on screen, and we're on 2 pages, I don't know the total number, 30 plus, with the devotees coming and going. And so we are so happy to be with you all and to be with, in person, Keshavananda Prabhu. I was out all day with some duty and just came back, and I was very happy to come back and find Keshavananda Prabhu here. Another happy devotee to hear about the happy Leela of Krishna, Mahaprabhu, and the great masters which we've got in touch with by good chance. Keshavananda Prabhu.
Maharaj, Jai Davasa Muni.
Jai Davasa Muni.
And offer respects to the Munis and Rishis, and thinking many things. We've got to organize the unlimited pastimes of the sweet absolute. Unlimited. There is no limit to that ocean of movement and play. And we've heard something from our guardians and from the scriptures, and we do use, our Western languages, even Italian, are not so good at capturing, emotion and sentiment, or to speak of divine motion and sentiment. Like in English, we have one word for love. I love God, I love my wife, I love my kids, I love pizza, all the same. I think the Greeks maybe were a little cleverer with that and had a few different words to separate the types of affection, categorize them a little bit more intelligently. But then when we went into the word, enter into the divine sound that's expressing divine substance, then we have to move to other languages. We go to Sanskrit and we go to Bengali, and we have these words like prema, which divine sentiment, bhava, divine interaction with the Lord and his movement. And it's, we have words like happy and ecstatic. We have so many things, but I'm thinking that, Kumkum will know it. I don't remember the words. It's one of those old ISKCON children's stories, the song about Agasura. His name is Agasura. I can't remember exactly. His wide open mouth It's just like a cave. Soon it will be Krishna's grave.
Oh.
It sends a chill up you, even just hearing it. What to speak of Mother Yashoda? You know, she probably, no doubt, was not there smiling sweetly and doing some meditation. She was calling on Krishna, of course, and full. I mean, what can I do? Rupa Goswami wrote the book. Rupa Goswami wrote the book on divine sentiment, and by the mercy of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, we have some condensed form of that book, the Nectar of Devotion, the Bhakti Rasamrita, the Bhakti Rasamrita of Rupa Goswami, of those leelas are moving and they are tasting every kind of divine emotion. You know, it's very, you know, it's very amazing when you read it and you're like, Gora, the horrific rasa, you know, the ghastly rasa. And you try to understand all these complicated things have their origin in that heart's ocean of the Lord and his devotees playing. And we know some of the most beautiful and deepest are shot through with Vipralamba. They're shot, the sweetest songs of saddest thought do tell. And that may be not quite right, but the idea there. You know, we're going to, by the grace, we hope to soon be in Jagannath Puri. So we're thinking of, how can we not think of Mahaprabhu dancing the body of Haridas Thakur on the soft sands of Nila Chaladam, and the ocean of heart, beautiful, pure sentiment that was being tasted and was being shared and relished by the devotees with him there. Or Srinivasacharya arriving back in Puri, and he'd been off to find another Bhagavatam that hadn't all run off the page because Gadadhar Pandit Prabhu's tears had washed it away. When he comes, he's found the book, but comes back and Gadadhar also left this world. These so many, an ocean, an ocean of sweetness. Well, again, sweet, this word we use, an ocean of divine beauty that our guardians and the holders of this vision and this understanding in the line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Saraswati Thakur, and then even further developed by Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Maharaj. They live in that land of heart, and they constantly remind us that it is about that heart transaction. So they live there. So we hear these things from him. So Chinmoy Prabhu's obviously relishing so much, repeating what he heard Gurudev telling. And we know no one can do, even though he did a wonderful job, we know no one can do it like Gurudev. No one's quite got the expression or the throwaway remark or the just so wonderful and beautiful. So I don't know what to say really. How fortunate are we? And thinking again of pastimes, that beautiful pastime that Kumkum did referenced, and the place that is one of our regular places to go on Parikrama in Navadvip, Srivas Angam, the courtyard of Srivas Thakur, Srivas Pandit, where they, you know, in the good old days, the devotees would say, the good old days when Nimai was still Nimai and he was in Navadvip with his beautiful long hair and his beautiful ornaments. And he was with all the family, all the devotees, all the different devotees at Navadvip, and they were just doing kirtan. They were singing, their hearts were overflowing with Krishna prema, with whatever that divine substance is. They were relishing it to the utmost, and that divine wave was going on, and Mahaprabhu could detect something somewhere is a little, needs some adjustment. And then of course that pastime that we heard Kumkum Didi referred to, and when Mahaprabhu basically brings him back to life, and instead of just leaving there, he restores him. But then they have a philosophical discussion, because we need to understand these things, life and death, happiness and unhappiness, and so many things. So yes, we can, how fortunate, and that our Gurudevs have written so extensively on these things in many different ways. I know Bhaktivinoda Thakur also wrote about the demons in Vrindavan Leela as having some allegorical meaning, as well as, no, it's real. There is an Agasura, and there is a all those friends of Kamsa. I don't know whether friends is associates of Kamsa, let's put it that way. Putana and others, Putana, however you say that word, Putana. And so he also gives another way of looking at those pastimes. Putana, of course, being the something that isn't what it seems to be, and he specifically draws out, Bhaktivinoda Thakur draws out guru, like false teacher, falsehood, something that looks very beautiful. Putana's put on, she's changed her form, she's put on the appropriate clothing, she's made herself lovely, and off she goes, but she is not what she seems to be. So anyway, that just popped in my head, that those, I can't remember all of them. I don't think he goes through all the demons, but he goes through several in one book, and gives us another way to understand the depth of the Leela, you know, because it's every within the infinite, everything is center, nowhere is circumference. So, and so many unlimited desires and purposes of the Lord are being fulfilled with any one Leela that's going on, and so many things. But for that, we need to hear from the Paramahansa Vaishnavas, not from me. We hear those things from Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, and of course, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur as our great grandfather, and his wonderful family we've been invited into. Hare Krishna.
And it is amazing that we can hear from them. And Srila Prabhupada, he produced the Krishna books because he knew that devotees must hear, that aspiring devotees and the public, they must hear from a devotee. And so Srila Prabhupada, he knows what he is doing. He is doing everything on behalf of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So he's not putting himself in the front or anything, but he knows that he is presenting what Srila Saraswati Thakur is giving. So as a third party, and Srila Guru Maharaj was sometimes like this too, like stepping out and looking at who he is in the way of presenting Krishna to the world. Then Srila Prabhupada was that person, that devotee, who can give us the proper conception of the pastimes of Krishna. And so Srila Prabhupada did not know how long he would live, because remember, he was 70 or 69 when he left from India to go to America, and his health wasn't the best of health, and had difficulties, heart attacks on the boat, etc., on the way over. But as the Westerners were coming, and he saw, yes, the Western people who don't know anything about the Veda, they are catching the message. They want to hear. And now they do want to hear about Krishna's pastimes. And so how can he direct them to hear from just anywhere and anywhere? Like, oh, go to the library, you'll find a book about Krishna's pastimes. That's a very dry thing when it's not by a devotee. So Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada knows it. he has to do it. The service has come to him to give Krishna Leela, and urgently, because devotees, they need to hear about Krishna, all these pastimes. And so he produced very carefully the Krishna books. And that's all based on the 10th canto it is basically the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam in prose form. And so it's not a strict translation, but some of it, when you see the actual translation, because Srila Prabhupada did later come to do verse by verse of the early part of the 10th canto. And still, when you read that verse by verse, it is quite close to what he gave in the prose flowing of the translations of the 10th canto. And so he gave the Krishna books, and we've heard it explained too, that in those Krishna books, he has given the essential part, the essential teaching of Canto 1, Canto 2, Canto 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's given us the preparation for hearing about Krishna and solidly knowing that Krishna is the Lord and not just a special boy of this world who can do some magic. And so Srila Prabhupada gave the Krishna books. We all have access to the Krishna books. And then, of course, with this Leela being presented to the world, then devotees are coming and relishing. And Srila Guru Maharaj, then he's protecting all of these things that Srila Prabhupada has given out, and is very carefully protecting the Krishna Leela from the Sahaja, the imitationists, and that we will not approach all these things if we don't follow the basic practices in the devotional life. And Guru Maharaj saying that if we go to imagine or think about the high pastimes before we've become cleansed, then if we give much attention there, he's saying, then because our imagination cannot stretch that far, and because our experience of boy, girl, everything is limited to this world, Guru Maharaj said, then we will make offense. So when we come into many of the Leelas later on in the 10th canto, we must accept everything very carefully and gently, and from Guru Maharaj, from Gurudev, from Srila Prabhupada, and not that we will delve into the fine subject matters. But all of the pastimes, they are full of sweetness, because Krishna is sweetness personified. He is the embodiment of sweetness, beauty, and everything else. And so life means happiness, not suffering. And the best happiness is joy and ecstasy. Krishna is always active, just like we are always active. Just try sitting down and stopping the mind for a short while. That doesn't happen. So Krishna is very active. He's a supreme person, and he's always doing ever new and ever fresh pastimes, and individually for all devotees. So there is a place for us everywhere. And in Mahaprabhu's pastimes, at least we've got some part to play. That is, Mahaprabhu came to rescue the fallen souls. So he needs fallen souls to rescue. So it's very happy and joyful. Mahaprabhu has come to rescue fallen souls. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyway, it is a happy subject matter. I'm afraid I haven't had the chance to read that article which is on Gaudiya Darshan website, but we shall read it soon. And the title of the article was The Joy of Krishna's Pastimes, the nectar of the Lord's pastimes. Or Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur concludes his remedy for grief. Okay. We had this title, Remedy for Grief, recently, and now it's come to Joy, was it the title, Joy and Nectar in the Lord's Pastimes?
Pastimes. Yes.
How long is this? Little long. Okay, little long. We leave this for you for your homework, and we'll also do our homework. And I think probably to make sure everyone does their homework, we might read this tomorrow morning in our morning program. Hare Krishna. And now here Mahaprabhu is going to eat. Hare Krishna. And of course, Guru Maharaj is famous for giving stress to not only the safety of the union in separation mood and giving attention to the union in separation, but that the intensity of the loving relationship of union in separation is far greater than the other ecstasies, which are when the beloveds are together. And so it is not that we miss out by not giving close focus and attention to all the very fine things that are given in the high leelas in Srimad Bhagavatam and in Garga Samhita and in books that we don't read, which are given for only the pure devotees. There need to be books for the pure devotees. So Ujjvala Nilamani and other books whose names we hear, we do not read them, dear devotees. But we do get carefully presented, again, the messages and the sweetness of these books given to us by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we are not missing out by not being allowed to indulge in reading the fine topics of Radha Krishna Leela and the Gopis, the Krishna Leela, but that the separation mood, that this is more intense and it is also safe. And this very much Mahaprabhu gave to us, Guru Maharaj very much gave to us, and Gurudev always keeping us with our feet on the ground, reminding us that we are fallen souls. We are in separation, but we have that possibility to wake up that dormant love of God by following the practices that Guru Maharaj has given, that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given, and that Gurudev himself has emphasized so many times. So we are very fortunate to have the Leelas of Krishna given by Srila Prabhupada in the Krishna books and in various places, means referring to such Leelas in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the purports also. And we are very fortunate to be connected by those pure devotees at this time. And this is our hope, that we can all understand them as best we can and live a life. Oh, here's Ananda Swarupini.
You're there.
I was going to give a little mention to her on the Zoom. She was due to come yesterday, I believe, or even the day before, but held up in Derbyshire. So anyway, Ananda Swarupini just came in. I don't know if you saw. But the point is, we are very fortunate to have this connection, to have all of these things very purely in front of us. And here we are together, happily, so many devotees from around and about on the Monday Zoom, and with the simultaneous translation, though I'm speaking a bit too fast, I understand now. I should try to speak slower for our translators. And we've got Chaitanya Moy Devidasi back in Rome and translating for us, and Harigopal Prabhu back in Riga. I think he was in Riga all the time. But anyhow, he's in Riga and translating for the Russian section, the Russian-speaking section, those who understand Russian. Hare Krishna. And look, we've got so many sweet devotees. We've got a back row, a middle row, a side row. On the wings, we've got devotees. Actually, this can come out. We're all looking. There you go. Uh-oh. And I don't know how that works, but anyway. Okay, so, and the cameraman is a camera lady. It's handed, she probably showed you just her hand, how to play humility. And so we got devotees here, we got devotees feeding the Supreme Personality Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
How about that for a pastime?
How about that sort of pastime?
Right.
How nectarian and joyful. The process of Krishna consciousness is so wonderful. You don't have to sit in ice cold water up to your neck for a week. And you don't have to stand, you don't have to be in the summer surrounded by fire for donkeys hours, donkeys hours. And we've seen these things. I haven't seen somebody sitting any length of time up to their neck in ice cold water. But I've seen the people, like yogi people, surrounded by fire with some associates who keep the fires running in the heat in the summer. And how have I seen it? Because it was in a very public place. And one could think it might be better to do it in a private place, but it's always good to get a crowd around the place.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll be very cautious, but to judge anybody. But it's a little unfortunate when it's one may feel it's a happy public spectacle, to do some austerities and things. But this doing austerities by sitting with fire around you, etc. Gurudev didn't give any regard to this. I mean, we can consider, well, maybe the person is trying to understand spiritual life and is not the body. It may be, but that's not the process for this age. So if we can, or if we could, then we would try to say something to them, to say, well, have you heard of Mahaprabhu? The most magnanimous Lord. Don't waste your time having people light fires around you and sitting there, in a public place for everyone to walk. Anyway, public or private. I mean, really, there may be somebody who very, secretly does these things because they read them in a book. But that's the point that Gurudev points out, that if we just take Bhagavatam also, Srimad Bhagavatam, if we read by ourselves, we may take something from it which is not the conclusion of Bhagavatam, and we may end up doing something like that. So we have to read Bhagavatam with the careful guidance of the devotees. And that guidance has been amply given by Srila Prabhupada, who translated and gave the purports on the Bhagavatam, by Srila Guru Maharaj, who prepared Srila Prabhupada, and by Srila Gurudev, who was also prepared by Srila Guru Maharaj. They've all given us ample, and Srila Prabhupada, all given us ample guidance for the conclusion. And what is the final conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam? Take the holy name of the Lord, chant the Lord's glories, and take his holy name. This was the final conclusion, and this is where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began. Hare Krishna. So the ecstasy of Krishna Leela and the ecstasy of Mahaprabhu's Leela, they are running side by side, two different rooms of the same house. All right, and for all our Brazilian devotees who are here with us, happily seeing you. Giant, he's brave and she's got her camera on. And lots of you not so brave and don't have your camera on. And for all of the Russian-speaking section and to the English-speaking section, we're very happy to have you all with us. And to the Norwegian-speaking section, but also. Hare Krishna. All right, so we are going to continue here. We're in the London mat, and we're going to continue here with some short Sankirtan, and we're going to be remembering what we've heard from Kumkum Devirasi, from Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, from Shyama Sundar Prabhu, and from our devotees here. And there's lots more to say, but one summary: chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Krishna consciousness is a happy thing. Be careful, stay safe spiritually, do the right thing. Beautiful things await.
Maharaj, I thought we might take 1 minute to hear from Vilagovinda's cameraman. We have not heard from him yet.
Not necessary. The Zoom is over.
I wondered if you were still there. We saw your auspicious form a little earlier. Yes, Manindra Mohan Prabhu, please share.
Now Mahaprabhu ate. I think you all have to take his prasada. But okay, I will say one little sentence, because everything about Krishna is about enjoyment. He's an enjoyer. He's a supreme enjoyer. So right after initiation, I remember from Srila Gurudev, I took initiation, and then I felt so overwhelmed that I had to run away and stay only myself alone for 3-4 days. I don't know if you remember, Maharaj. And I went down in Orissa, and I rented a little room and stayed there for a few days, and then I elaborate some question to give to Gurudev when I would come back. And one of the questions, then I came back to Gurudev in Calcutta, and I said, Gurudev, I have one question. I said, I was thinking, oh, now he's going to deliver a huge lecture after this important question. And the question was, what is the necessity of creation? If Krishna is already full in himself and is infinite and is always engaged in his own self-sufficient pastimes, what's the necessity of creation? And Gurudev said, enjoyment. One word.
That was the big lecture. It was a big lecture. There you are.
Yeah, actually, it was a big lecture, because beyond that, there is a huge amount of spiritual substance. Yes, like that. Krishna's pastimes are already infinite and eternal, but he likes to extend always, even in this material world, like in this planet Earth, extend his pastimes here. And some kind of new flavor is testing here, dealing with the not perfect souls like us. And somewhere I heard even the rescuing of the fallen souls are kind of enjoyable pastimes for him. So we are fortunate to have this role in the pastimes of Krishna, to be rescued by him, by Mahaprabhu mostly, and Nityananda Prabhu. So, Jai, pastimes of Krishna, sweet and ever increasing all the time.
Jai. Very beautiful, Prabhu, and everybody there in Vilagovinda, here in the London Mat, but everybody, we know everyone's smiling to hear. So, and lots more things, some other things come in my mind, but we'll save them for another day. And every day is a special day in Krishna consciousness. We just do the right things, and every day is a festival. So let the festival continue around the world. Some places it's morning, some places it's evening, and some places it's the middle of the night, but probably nobody's here from the middle of the night section just now.
No.
So Rupa Nugapu,
No, morning.
already morning. Already morning. Oh, it's tomorrow morning. Just see. All right. So Jai, so come David Asif. You've been actually looking after everyone today. Maybe we can pass the microphone back to you and you can end the Jais. And we're going to do some kirtan before prasadam, not yet prasadam.
Maharaj has been so happy to hear all of these great Vaishnavas give some comment and to hear from our gurus. And just one other small point that I found when I was looking at this article, and that is in Bhagavad Gita, Srila Guru Maharaj actually comments about how this is everything. Hearing about Krishna's pastimes with the Vaishnavas is 100% of what the world requires now. So it's not only that we're attracted to it, but they are encouraging us to let the entire world know about this. There's so many problems and so many people have different ideas of solution. They always will, but actually the only solution is this, to hear about Krishna's pastimes. It's in the end of the 14th chapter of Hidden Treasure.
Jai.
Jai. Ki Jais? Madhusudan Ki Jais?
Jai.
Jai, Jai.
Jai Shishi Guru Ganga Gandhar Govinda Ju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Srila Bhakti Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugugu Varga Ki Jai. Om Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Bila Govinda Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat West London Branch Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Sama Veda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Sama Veda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtana Ki Jai. Jai Gop Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Vanchakaupatruvyascha kripasindhuvya Padatanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dandavat all devotees.
Jai Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai.
And wishing you all the pure joy of the season of remembrance of Krishna and those who are bringing Krishna to us. So, all seasons, best wishes to everybody. Hare Krishna. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. From all of us here to all of you there. And we're multiplying, it seems, inside our little temple room. And if you don't want to go home, do you? None of you got any homes to go to? Do you have the
link?
Not the link. Do you have how to turn on the audio for musicians? Okay, we're on a different machine. We don't have that opportunity to turn on the professional audio. Just go quickly to settings. Go to audio. Scroll down.
Yeah, original.
Yes, click it. Okay, did you click it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's turn it off and it should show up on the screen. Now turn
On. Yeah.
on. Okay, so we are, if you wish, you can stay with us. We are going to chant Hari Haraya Nama Krishna anyhow. And if you wish, you can be with us. Jai Gurudev, Jai Guru Maharaj.
Jai.
And Mahaprabhu's eating, so the curtain is closed, unfortunately. Takes him a long time to eat sometimes. So anyway, if it opens, we'll give you darshan here of the deities. So Rasamai Pandit has been very quiet. We can ask her to lead Hari Haraya Nama Krishna. And we have to be quiet on the kartals and the mridang.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jatavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Krishavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Krishavaya Namaha.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madhana Moha.
Giridhari Gopinath Madhana Moha.
Sabara Pada Renu Mora Panchaga.
Tade Charana Shebi Bhakta Shaneba.
Tade Charana Sevi Bhakta Saneva.
Janame Janame More Abhila.
Janame Mora Avida.
Oi Chai Go Sai Jabe Braje Koilaba.
Jai Gosai Jabe Jai Koilaba.
Shri Radha Krishna Nita Lila Korila Prakash.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash.
Anand Bolo Hari Raja Vrindavan. Anand Bolo Hari.
Raja Vrindavan.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriya.
Hari Nam Sankirtana Kohe Naruttamudha.
Hari Nam Sankirtan Kohe Nardamuda.
Bolo Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Jai Sabari Vishishi Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Ju Ki Jai. Srila Gurudev Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Rakab Shidha Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Guru Bhagavad Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Randa Bhakti Maharaj Ki Jai. Shruti Devotee Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande.
So Amra Aschi Tuti devotee. I'm now the cameraman. There's our beautiful parampara behind. Hare Krishna. All right, we'll let you all continue your days, and we'll let you continue your day with the darshan of Mahaprabhu here. Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.